an incredible gesture of solidarity, the 5 main cast members of The Big Bang Theory have decided to give themselves a pay cut so that their 2 female co-cast members could have a pay increase. Now, Jim Parsons, Johnny Galecki, Kaley Cuoco, Kunal Nayyar, and Simon Helberg all reportedly make about $1 million an episode, and they are now saying that they are going to take a pay cut of about $100,000 so that their cast members, Mayim, Bialik, and Rauch could have a pay increase. Now, both actresses are making about $200,000 per episode right now.
The poorhouse.
Now, if Bialik and Rauch split the $500,000 from their co-stars, both would rise to nearly $450,000 an episode, or more than $21 million for the 2-year, 48-episode deal. Now, I think this is an incredible move by these cast members. It's similar to the move that the Friends cast members made, where they all stayed in solidarity to make sure that there was parity for equal work and equal pay. But it is kind of, I think there's 2 absurd facts about it. I think the first being that they're making $1 million an episode. I think that's ridiculous. And then I think the second absurd fact about it is that they have to take a pay cut so that their cast members can get a pay increase, right? I understand that Ben, maybe you can do a little bit better job explaining this about like the rules of syndication and the way that the show is still making money now. But it's kind of silly that they don't just increase the other cast members' salaries.
We want to go ahead?
Well, I mean,
I heard
I don't think it's absurd because this is one of the biggest shows on TV, a la Friends. Friends was like that first, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Friends was that first cast that was making about $1 million an episode.
Right.
All the main characters.
Yeah, 6 people.
Yeah, but it was the syndication varies in different countries, different territories. There are different deals that are cut, and each one is this station, this network buying the episodes, so they're getting money from each deal, and it could be different based off the countries and wherever they are. Mayim Bialik, which I still love from Blossom.
In my opinion, nation, the zone is gone.
And Melissa Rauch, they've been integral parts in the storyline, and I don't even look at them as co-stars. I actually look at them as the main stars. However, they aren't as popular as
they weren't there. Were they there at the beginning?
They
They came season 3.
Right, so they came later.
But we're on season 11 right now. So at some point they should be well over 200,000.
Yeah,
which
that's what
they should have at least been at 500 to 700.
They do 200,000 an episode. They do 24 episodes a year. That's $4.8 million.
I don't care.
It's a lot of money, undoubtedly, but I don't think that like just because it's a lot of money, you get to say that they get to make that much smaller than the rest of the cast members. I don't think they need to make the same amount because those are the original cast members and those are the main.
You all are.
Love it.
They built the show to what it is. They built the show to what it is, and the co-stars are coming in and to help elevate it.
As long as Johnny Galecki is set financially.
My indifference to this is overwhelming. One, because I'm baffled by the show's success, but more power to them.
No.
It's an amazing
people
show.
with
It is not.
Asperger's.
I think it's amazing. I even think it's amazing.
This is actually not a matter of opinion. You were mistaken.
Because what they do is because they have autism, they can't take things figuratively, and then they interpret them literally, and it's hilarious. Don't you see? Don't you see? That's I don't know. It's every joke.
So that said, the reason they don't give the other people more money is because at some point you can't simply pay the cast that much money. I mean, there are 5 stars making $1 million. You want to have it 7. That's $7 million an episode.
Right.
24 episodes a year. That's a lot of money. And but I mean,
and they're making it.
So I got it. They're making it, but there is not a limitless amount of money. I want the writers to get paid, right? I want
They do.
Right. I'm
when
sure
you deliver an episode of whatever, there's a union fee that you get when you deliver your episode. You're paid per week that you're there as part of the writing staff.
Right, but it's not as much as you're not getting $200,000 an episode.
When I was in 2006, it was $36,000 for writing your episode. That was the union minimum for writing your episode. So what happens is they all brainstorm, everyone's there, they get a weekly salary, and then, of the writing staff, you'll write 3 episodes of the 22. Right. For each one of those, you get 26, and it might, depending on your contract, you get additional for every rewrite.
So it's a nice gesture, but we are talking about a gesture of millionaires transferring some of the money to other millionaires.
The billionaires giving it to the billionaires.
But
for a show that is wildly overrated.
But it's
but I got you. It's good for them.
It's a beautiful gesture
It is,
from
it's great.
It's a nice gesture,
these
totally.
cast members. It's important that they're recognizing this, and I think it communicates to whoever's in charge of deciding these salaries that they're willing to do this, and that they're the importance in this.
Right.
And I think it's good because it sets a tone in Hollywood as well to start.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
the dialogue has been there, but now we're starting of a critically acclaimed, very awarded show.
I would say the following. The person who should make the most money is first Jim Parsons.
Number one.
Who should make 4 times what every other person works.
That show is
because he is the best person on that show. Johnny Galecki should be way back in the back just because he's not doing a very good job. I think that Kunal does a great job, and Kaley does a terrible job, and Simon does a great job. Mayim Bialik, she's blossom. She's infallible. But I think the truth is, like,
I like it.
I like this story because frequently you'll see a bunch of math that says like this person was in the same movie as that person and they didn't get paid as much.
Right.
Well, in Hollywood, there's leading people and then there's the ones who are the support, and the support people shouldn't get paid as much as the leading folks. I think we should do everything we can to make sure that as many talented actors as possible get a shot at that leading part, but I agree that at this point in the life of the Big Bang Theory, they're all equally responsible except Johnny Galecki for the success of that show. I don't know why I want to like him, but I just don't.
Here's the thing, what if it was equated to sports? Jim Parsons is the LeBron James of this team.
Yeah.
And LeBron is paid the way LeBron is paid. Everyone else is not on LeBron's level, so they're not paid at LeBron's level. So what if we did it that way then?
But this is the equivalent.
too?
This is the equivalent of them all taking a pay cut to play together.
Okay, but it doesn't matter the characters that you like or if you think they're a good actor or not. Like it depends on the contributions that they're making to the show. And if they're making more contributions, they should be paid accordingly. I mean, I think it's very simple.
I've only seen the first few seasons and then again a later season. So I didn't see the whole arc. I know she was misused in the first few seasons and it was a crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we just agree that Johnny Galecki's terrible on that show?
Okay.
Let's put some watchers on the wall. Investigative journalists to run down the Trump administration and the establishment. You can make that happen. TYTnetwork.com/go.